Hi, my name is Gáspár Nagy, and I would like to give you a short introduction to SpecRun 1.2. SpecRun is a smart execution framework for SpecFlow. So, for that, I will take a small sample application, Bookshop, that has already a few SpecFlow scenarios. These SpecFlow scenarios are currently automated or executed with the NUnit runner. So, what I will do, I will just go to the Manage NuGet Packages dialog, search for SpecRun, and I will add the SpecRun.SpecFlow NuGet package to my project. Please note that this is just the integration package. The actual runner is in the SpecRun runner, but this will be included automatically when I add this package. So I'm adding it. I will not regenerate the files yet. First I will just open the configuration, and if you do so, you will see that SpecRun has added itself as a unit test provider for SpecFlow. But we already had the NUnit before, which we don't need anymore. So I just save this and let SpecFlow regenerate the feature files. This will take a few seconds. After that I can compile. Yes. And what you will see immediately is that the Visual Studio unit test window or test explorer window started to display my feature files and the scenarios in there, using the terms that I have used in my scenario. So the exact titles with spaces and all the other things. This is a new feature of SpecRun 1.2, that it integrates seamlessly with the Visual Studio Text Explorer window, so you don't need to install anything extra to Visual Studio. The Test Explorer framework will recognize the necessary connectors in the NuGet package and will display your tests in the Test Explorer window. You can browse them through by feature files or by traits, in our case by tags. So for example, I can run all the tags, all the scenarios that are marked with the important tag here. As you can see, the execution was fast, and you can see the individual output of the files. The other thing that you don't see immediately, but what you can also investigate, is if you go to the output window and go to the tests pane of that, then you will see a short summary of the SpecRun execution, including the link to the generated SpecRun report file, where you can see all the details of the test execution. You can also do other execution features as well. I have a breakpoint here, so I can go here to the test and say debug. Then it will stop at my breakpoint soon, and yeah, I can step into it or step over it and finish and do other debugging tasks. Or what I can also do, I can also use the other features of the Visual Studio test runner, like the coverage analysis or the profiling. Let's make a coverage analysis on all the tests that are tagged as important. So what you can see, that the important tests are actually covering 65% of the control area, which is pretty good. If you have used and liked the console runner of the earlier versions of SpecRun, then this is still there, and it has been even improved further. It might make sense still to use the console runner, especially for case if you want to execute all the tests of the project, which takes longer time, and you want to continue developing in your Visual Studio and you don't want to be blocked by doing that. I will show you that one as well quickly, but for that I will include a couple of more tests that the execution makes is more visible. And go to the console runner and say run tests. This will compile my project and execute the tests. What you can also see is that the currently executed scenario title is displayed, also the remaining time and the percentage of the tests that have been completed. SpecRun documentation has been always produced as a couple of feature files, because we are using SpecFlow and SpecRun for developing SpecRun itself. But in this version, we are also providing the SpecRun documentation as a speclog repository, SpecLog is a visual requirement planning tool, and where you can display the user story or feature cards into different workspaces and visualize them and see the details of that. So you can see two maps in this attached SpecLog file. One is a feature map and one is a story map. One is seeing the individual SpecRun features from the user activity point of view. The other is showing them from the features point of view. You can go into the details of the individual stories, and you can see also the Gherkin files related to this documentation also attached. If you don't want to install SpecRun or a SpecLog for viewing this file, we are also providing an HTML export of this file in the NuGet package. You can also open that and search for example, Visual Studio. Then you will see the requirement that is related to Visual Studio. Here you can see some other details about the Visual Studio execution feature, like how to customize the settings and how to use different execution profiles for the Visual Studio for executing the test from Visual Studio. So this was the short introduction of the new execution features in SpecRun. I hope you enjoyed it.